But winning this month will ensure that this isn't the last month of the 2015 season for some teams. Tonight we got to look at 5 teams that have a shot at the playoffs, while the others were looking to play spoiler. And Amanda-Clearcreek and Fairfield Union enter tonight with only one thing on their mind: a win. Now joining me on the desk is our very own Carter Eckl, and you were at that game tonight, Carter.
And Justin, you know, both teams were not only looking for a win, but they were looking to put points on the board. And it was a barn burner out there in the rain on the Falcons' homecoming night, but no weather would dampen their spirits. And so Fairfield Union would get started off with trying to get hyped in the huddle and trying to stay warm. It would be the Aces who would start with the ball, though. Jordan Leisure, 24 yards to the outside, but that's as far as Amanda-Clearcreek would get on their opening drive. They would turn it over on downs. They would get the ball back. Braden Neff trying to go to the air. Finds Jacob Figgins on the other team, intercepted. He would take it down to the Aces 40, setting up the Falcons' triple threat backfield attack. Here's name number 1, Nick Schultz, 29 yards for 6. 6-0 Falcons. After that score, they would miss the extra point, but it wouldn't matter as the Falcons would get the ball back. Here's name number 2 of that triple threat backfield, Will Young. 53 yards down the left hash mark. That would put the Falcons up 13-0. They would combine for 280 yards rushing on the night, but the Aces weren't out of it yet. Jordan Leisure, Gridiron Glory Player of the Year candidate for good reason. 64 yards down the outside to the end zone would bring the Aces within a score. Now here's where things get interesting, Justin. 4th and 18 late in the third quarter. Aces trying to pin the Falcons deep. They would drop the punt on the snap. Punter's running, trying to pick up the first down. He would fight his way through a bunch of different blockers, reach out, but that's as close as they would get to the first down, and that's as close as the Aces would get on the night. They would fall 13-6.
Well, Fairfield Union, they've had a tough start to the season offensively. How did they fare tonight?
Well, the Falcons' triple threat backfield gave the Aces fits, as Fairfield Union was able to rush for almost 280 yards on the ground. Braden Heston, Nick Schultz, and Will Young paved the way for the Falcons as all 3 backs were able to make significant contributions. The O-line also paved the way as Braden Heston powered his way for 122 yards on the ground, while Nick Schultz and Will Young each added a touchdown of their own following their big plays. After a scoreless first quarter, the Falcons' backfield was able to open up those muddy running lanes early in the second quarter. I know we're talking about offense, but the Falcons are now 3-3 while averaging less than 10 points per game. Justin, that has to say something about that stubborn Falcon defense.
Well, since you brought it up, what stood out about that Falcon defense?
The ability to shut down the Aces' explosive backfield. Fairfield Union limited the big plays, allowing Jordan Leisure to break free for that 64-yard touchdown run. They stuffed the Aces on a couple of different 4th downs, forcing a few turnover on downs backed up against their own red zone. If they can keep up this defensive intensity, they may have a shot at topping Hamilton Township next week.
So there are a lot of turnovers between the 2 teams, but was it the weather or just sloppy play?
Well, Justin, I'd like to blame the weather. It was a factor, but both teams have become notorious for coughing up the football. The muddy playing field didn't help, but holding onto the football will be a big priority in game planning come Monday.
So we touched on Fairfield Union and their defense, but Amanda-Clearcreek had their fair share of opportunities.
Justin, the Aces put themselves in prime real estate, getting the ball on a couple different occasions near the 50-yard line. However, turnovers drastically hurt Amanda-Clearcreek as an interception led to the Falcons' first score.
Well, that was definitely a big win for Fairfield Union. As always, thanks for the great work, Carter. Now, if you follow us on social media, glory doesn't have to end on Friday nights. Over on Twitter, you can find score updates, conference breakdowns, and previews for the upcoming games that we'll be at. And that's not the only place where content is going up. Throughout the week, we're posting power rankings and much more.